Hey guys, my name is Laura and I am a USAPL state referee and powerlifting coach, and today I'm going to be running you through what to expect at a USAPL meet, USA Powerlifting. So if this is your very first meet, you're about to do one, this is a great video for you to kind of, watch and kind of know what to expect when you walk through those doors. There are some things that happen before the meet even starts that is good to know about. So if your meet starts at 9 a.m., the USAPL does what we call 2-hour weigh-ins, which means they start weighing you in 2 hours before the start of the meet. So if the meet starts at 9 a.m., your weigh-ins will start at 7 a.m. Check-in will start 30 minutes before weigh-ins. Check-in is where you just come, let the meet director know you're there, get your meet t-shirt, get your lifter card, all that good stuff. Come 6:30 a.m. for a 9 a.m. start time. Big fat line's going to form. All the lifters are going to arrive. Make sure that you have your membership card with you and some form of identification. You're going to be needing those two pieces of articles to check in for the meet. After you check in, the only thing to be super time conscientious of is when weigh-ins start. So again, 2-hour weigh-ins. So if it's a 9 a.m. start time, you have a 7 a.m. weigh-in. If it's a 10 a.m. start time, it's an 8 a.m. weigh-in. The reason why we're going to be conscientious of time with this is because they go by lot number and you only have 90 minutes to weigh everyone in for that session. So if you are the beginning of the lot numbers and you miss your weigh-in time when your lot number is called, you're going to get bumped to the very bottom of the list, which is not great for you, especially if you're cutting weight, because you're just going to have more time to wait until your official weight is recorded for the meet. So if you get there early, you're there first, you get your check-in done, you have 30 minutes before weigh-ins start, you can go ahead and do rack heights and equipment check if you have not done that already. Some meet directors will offer these two things, rack heights and equipment check, the night before. So take advantage of those early equipment check and rack heights if you can. If not, then you'll be doing that the day of the meet. So rack heights is where you're going to get your height for squat and for bench press. And they usually do it one at a time depending on how many combo racks are available. There'll be people there helping you get your rack heights. If not, ask someone for help. Some meets have you submit it yourself, and there's usually instructions somewhere around that area, so just keep an eye out for that. When you are getting your squat rack height, make sure you wear the shoes that you're going to squat in competition. Don't go up in your street shoes barefoot. Every rack is different. If you're not used to squatting on a combo rack, make sure you put your squat shoes on, whatever those are, your Notorious lifts, your Adidas power lifts, and then you get under the bar and you take a couple tries to make sure that that's the right rack height. If you get to competition and squats and you're like, ooh, I don't actually like this rack height, totally fine. You go to the attempt table after your attempt, tell them, hey, can I bring my rack height up a hole, down a hole? So this won't be set in stone, but it is easier for you if you get the right rack height right off the bat. Same goes for bench. Make sure you have everything you usually wear for bench press. You're going to be getting your rack height for where you unrack the bar, as well as your safety height. So if you happen to have a crazy fail, you don't crush your windpipe and die. So you'll be having your rack height and your spotter arms to set. And then there's equipment check. So that's where you're going to have your shoes, singlet, socks, shirt, belt, wrist wraps, knee sleeves, all that stuff. They need to be checked to make sure they follow the rules of the federation. Do not wear your singlet to equipment check. Don't wear your meet shirt to equipment check. The referee has to actually look at your equipment during equipment check. I've had so many lifters come up to me in their singlet and I'm like, please don't do that. It's not helpful. So don't wear your singlet to equipment check. Have it all in your gym bag. And also, you don't need to show the referee your underwear anymore, gentlemen. I do not need to be handed your briefs, your tighty-whities in equipment check. Thank you. Let's say you got all these done before weigh-in start. Great, yay. All you have to do is weigh in, then you can eat, relax, get ready for the meet. So again, 9 a.m. start time, 7 a.m. weigh-ins will start. It's going to go by lot number. There will be referees weighing you in as well as calling out who's next in the order. So make sure you keep an ear out and you hear for your name. You can also look up lot numbers on Lifting Cast usually before the meet so you'll know what order you're in. Weigh-ins is where you're going to also be giving your openers. You're going to be giving your openers in kilos, all by 2.5 increments, unless you are breaking a not state record, a national record, or American record. State records you still can only break by 2.5 kilo increments. If you train in pounds, make sure you're not just converting from pounds to kilos, because whatever way you do in pounds, it might end up being like 81.2 82 kilos, and you can't submit that. You'll have to round down to 80 or round up to 82.5 kilos. So just keep that in mind. Use the conversion charts that they have at the meet to submit your openers. After you weigh in, you can eat, relax, chill, and then the meet will start. So when you're looking at how the meet will work, we have sessions, flights, platforms. Session means you're either lifting, there's usually a morning session or an afternoon session, depending on how big the meet is. Lifters are all split into session 1, session 2. Usually women and lighter men, session 1, and then heavier men, session 2. Just depends on, or if you have prime time, it just depends what the meet director wants to do. So make sure you know what session you're lifting in. That'll dictate when you check in, when you weigh in, all that kind of stuff. Each session is split into flights, typically 2 to 3 flights per platform, and then you are split into platforms. If it's a single platform event, nice and easy, there's only one. Sometimes there can be 2. At nationals, you will have up to 4 or maybe even 5 platforms. So it's really important to know where you're gonna be at the meet, and then that way you'll know what flight you're in and where to go. So the most important thing is the flights. So once you know what session and platform you're on, know what flight you're in. So flights are usually have a letter, so you have flight A, flight B, flight C. So at the start of the meet, it's always going to be running ABC, ABC, ABC through squat, bench, deadlift. So at the beginning of the meet, flight A is going to be starting at 9 a.m. our start time. So usually there's a rules briefing around like 9:15. Flight A can start warming up, 8:15. Flight A can start warming up around right after that rules briefing. So you'll have about 30 to 40 minutes to warm up, plenty of time. Flight A is going to warm up. They're going to hit the platform for squats exactly at the meet start time. As soon as Flight A is on the platform, Flight B can move into the warm-up room. As soon as Flight A goes through all their attempts, Flight B moves onto the platform, and Flight C comes into the warm-up room, and so on and so forth. So once we're actually on the platform, each flight is going to be going through all 3 attempts at once. So Flight A is going to be on the platform. Everyone in that flight on each platform gets their first attempt. And then they go back through, do their second attempts, go back through, do their third attempts, and then they're done. Flight B will come on. So when you're on the platform, you're going through your attempts, you come on the platform, take your opener, you go to the score table, you submit your second attempt. Watch the scoreboard because you're not necessarily going to be in the same order as first attempts. It all goes by how heavy the weight is, lightest to heaviest. So if you make a bigger jump than the girls ahead of you, then you're going to be bumped later in the flight. So that's just important to watch for and important to remember. That's how it works for squat, for bench, and for deadlifts. There's usually a 10-minute break between each lift. So after squats are done, there's going to be a 10-minute break to set the platform up for bench. After bench is all done, there will be a 10-minute break to set up the platform for deadlifts. When you are warming up, warm-up timings is really important. So lifting cast is going to be your friend here. So let's say you are flight B. You're watching flight A, how fast that platform is running, and you're trying to time when to take your last warm-up so you can hit the platform without 20 minutes of rest, or you're taking the last warm-up and then running out and having to hit your first attempt right away. So you're going to look at lifting cast, and you'll see how many lifters there are in flight A, and you'll see each attempt. You can anticipate each lifter takes about 1 minute. So if flight A has 10 lifters, you can anticipate each attempt will take about 10 minutes. We have 3 attempts. That equals approximately 30 minutes. You have about 30 minutes before flight B, the first lifter, will step on the platform. From there, you look at your flight B and see what order you're in. So let's say flight B also has 10 lifters, but maybe you're not lifter 1. Maybe you're not the first one in the flight because you don't have the lightest opener. Let's say you're lifter number 6. So from there, you can do the same kind of logic. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 lifters in front of you, about 5 minutes before you take your first attempt. So you'll have about 35 minutes before you're going to be getting on the platform for the first time. So using that, you can kind of time your warm-ups with who's on the platform, how many people ahead of you, so that you're not, taking your last warm-up like 20 minutes before your time to get on the platform. So just taking that into consideration when you're warming up, you can anticipate bench press will take a little bit longer, and deadlifts are going to go fast, so you have to be ready for it. After the meet is done, stick around for your awards. If you're getting drug tested, you have to stay, pay in a cup, all that fun stuff. If you have any questions, you can email me, Laura@liberatestrength.com, or head over to the USA Powerlifting website, find your state, and they usually will have the rule book and, schedule and order on there. And then hopefully we'll see you on the platform soon.